Hello and welcome everyone to Knights Cup 2023. This is game one of the day on pitch one, where we have Michigan quad ball going up against RPI quad ball. To start, Michigan is going to get quad ball, RPI is going to get dodgeballs. Ethan Sturm is the head referee, and it looks like we're about to get started here in just a moment.
Michigan, are you ready? Go! RPI, are you ready? Down. Ready? Stop.
And we're off. Torikoff from Michigan to quad ball. Sue in front of him. Sue already throwing at RPI. Michigan keeps it slow with the quad ball. Jack Levy up top, getting marked high. Over far right to Deering. Michigan slow with it. Ray Brodeur with the bludger. Back to Levy. Levy goes deep to Torikoff. Torikoff marked high by RPI. It's Dylan Cullis from RPI. Oh, the interception from Olmsted. And RPI gets the stop. And RPI is able to maintain bludger control with Abatzi and Patch. Cullis now quad ball for RPI. Over to Olmsted, near side. Back behind. Marked by Johnson to Olmsted. Far pass. Sue makes the beat and Michigan gets the stop. So back-to-back stops here as Ryan Sue is absolutely just going for dodgeball control here. Gets a kick beat, but he's beat as well, so that should be control with RPI. Torikoff now runs in. Oh, great strip there. Team defense from Olmsted. And Mason DeBuff. And a great stop there from RPI, showing their physicality. Torikoff's not going to be able to just drive through this defense. It's Patch and Abatia here, maintaining control from Sue and Brodeur. DeBuff now up top, marked by Johnson. Back to Cullis. And back to DeBuff. RPI really working this left side of the pitch. Back to Cullis, middle, drives right. Shot, nope, that was a pass to Claire Olmsted. Back to DeBuff, met by Johnson. Sue makes the beat, and Michigan gets the stop as well. 2 possessions for each team, no goals so far. It's been tough in the half court. Sue wants a fast break. Levy's driving, dishes it to Torikoff. Torikoff makes 1 man miss, makes 2 men miss, and that is the first goal of the game. 10-0 Michigan. Julian Torikoff with the first goal. RPI slowly moving up the pitch. Michigan was also able to win control on that possession. Olmsted going to carry quad ball over halfway. Far side. Sue looking to blow this one up. Torikoff with a huge hit. Out of bounds. It's going to be a turnover in favor of Michigan as Sue makes an acrobatic play off camera to maintain control. And we have a stoppage here as head referee went to go get the quad ball. It looks like there's also an injury here for RPI. As Ian Goodspeed limps off the pitch heavily. That would be a big hit for RPI as Ad Ojo subs into the game. We're back off. Torikoff with quad ball. Brodeur and Sue in front of him. Torikoff gets laid out by Mason DeBuff, and then Claire Olmsted with the strip. Everyone's on the ground. Dodgeball's going everywhere. But RPI comes up with it. It's in the hands of Claire Olmsted, and she passes it off to Mason DeBuff. RPI with, again, another stop despite Michigan's aggressive beating. Ad Ojo going down near side. Cullis has it on the far right. Patch and Abatzi in front of him. Cullis looks to drive, gets around Johnson, gets met by Torikoff, gets around him, hits Ojo. Ojo, oh, great block there from Michigan. That was Jack Levy with the block. And Michigan gets another stop. Still just 10-0 here, Michigan, as we're getting pretty deep into this game, nearing the 5-minute mark. Ray Broder is walking up Jack Levy. DeBuff and Olmstead up high for RPI. Goes back to the corner to Julian Toyarkov. Met by Ojo. Toyarkov makes him miss. Gets met by Abatzia. His pass goes over the head of another Michigan player. I'll try to get their number in a minute. That is Amanda Margulis. And RPI gets another stop. Really, neither team has been able to run fast breaks in this game, and neither half court is working very much with the physical defense both of these teams are bringing. So Olmstead again working the far side of the pitch. Johnson up high. Koulis wants to set a pick. Olmstead drives, hits DeBuff. He can't handle the pass. It is met by Toyarkov. And Johnson picks up the loose quad ball. And so that's another stop from Michigan, and RPI is still held scoreless in this one. Dodgeball control has gone back into the hands of RPI. Some new beaters into the game for them, as Broder is walking quad ball up the pitch in the hands of Jack Levy. Broder misses. Although Margulis is found with the pass, she's blocked at the hoops. It was one of the best looking plays I've seen so far today from Michigan, but it did not work. As now Koulis is going to drive far side. He gets it off to DeBuff. Malzone is in front. Toyarkov, the huge hit. Olmstead, though, now with it. She gets beat from behind, but she had gotten it off to Koulis. He misses a shot. DeBuff picks it up. And DeBuff is able to finish through this Michigan defense. That was just grit and determination from that RPI offensive possession, and they tie the score up here 10-10. Levy, quad ball in hand, is going to walk this one up the pitch. Sue and Broder in front of him. Malzone and Abatzia with control for RPI. Levy looking for his options, hits Toyarkov in the right corner again. Malzone's going to run to him. Oh, and Olmstead with another interception. Claire Olmstead putting on a defensive clinic here for RPI with multiple interceptions and strips. And now DeBuff wants to run. Malzone misses Sue. Malzone then gets beat out as RPI keeps it slow. Koulis far side to Ojo. Ojo gets beat out by Ray Broder, and Toyarkov's able to pick up that quad ball. Score here is still 10-10 as neither side has been able to get much going offensively. But Michigan now with dodgeball control after that missed beat from Malzone. Malzone meeting Sue up high. Broder walking in Toyarkov. Olmstead and DeBuff up high in this 2-2 zone for RPI. Sue trying to blow it up, beats out Abatzia. Broder beats out Koulis. Toyarkov didn't go that way though. Oh, and he gets stuffed by Ojo. The Michigan beaters set up a great play to the left hoop, and Toyarkov went right. Levy sent back to hoops after making a play on Mason DeBuff, who's still in the keeper zone. Ojo now with it, left side. Gets it to Olmstead. Abatzia in front of Olmstead. DeBuff middle top. Ojo down left. Gets it to DeBuff. Malzone takes control from Broder. DeBuff shoots. Blocked by Levy. Ojo picks it up. Gets it to Olmstead. And she finishes through contact. So far in this game, as RPI goes up 20-10, Claire Olmstead has been a clear MVP candidate, as Margulis and Johnson are now going to sub out for Michigan. Sue and Broder walking Levy up the pitch. As all sorts of new players are coming in here for Michigan. I'll try to get their numbers in a moment. Levy far side to Johnson. Or rather, I believe that's Toyarkov now in the green headband. Levy drives through, makes DeBuff miss, but then his pass broken up by a beat behind. Koulis running forward, gets it to Ojo. Ojo through contact, hits a shot, And quickly, after being down 10-0, RPI is up 30-10. As a play here, Ryan Sue against Jessica Abbazia. We're going to keep the camera on Bludgers. Sue, very athletic play. Can't keep control, though. And Sean Patch and Jessica Abbazia are going to have control here. Levy again coming up. Brodeur, great play to win control back for Michigan. Oh, Levy, his shot gets blocked, but right into the hands of Julian Toyarkov. Then Ojo, with a great reach, intercepts another pass. Olmstead picks it up. She gets it to DeBuff. And Sean Patch is going to be able to clean this one up for RPI. Some confusion here. Olmstead is not beat.
Oh, it's the white. Oh, I thought it was the pole.
So here, Sue's beating out RPI's options up high. DeBuff to Olmstead. Sue playing very aggressively. Just ignores Olmstead, who drives in. She passes it over to DeBuff. He's able to grab it before it goes out of bounds. Back to Olmstead. Olmstead through contact gets it to Koulis. He's unable to handle the pass though. And Michigan Safer is able to drop on that ball to get the stop for Michigan. That's Audrey Safer and Sarah Moulter in the Chasers, who subbed in a few moments ago. As Toyarkov gets it over to Levy, and Michigan is going to sub out their beaters for the first time this game. Right from the start, they're going to be quite aggressive here. Great catch there for Michigan. RPI has no beaters right now, but DeBuff is not letting Toyarkov get through. And he was able to finish. Toyarkov moves to his right hand, comes around the corner, is able to score from behind. And Michigan stops the bleeding as they make the score 30-20. All right, so we are going to get a stoppage here. Some AR hands went into the air. I'm not sure what for. Robert Butler here, the beater in for Michigan, as well as Christian Ridings, who's the player who made the catch. All right, no call on that play. DeBuff walks it up. Oh, bludger turnover because of guarding. So actually, Sean Patch and Danny DiTomaso actually now have dodgeballs in hand. Isabel McCall gets it over to Ojo. He gets it back to Koulis. He gets it to DeBuff. Back to McCall. They've completed the circle. Missed beat there from Butler. McCall gets hit hard, but she gets it out to Ojo. Ojo dropped it, but then gets it back to McCall. Is immediately beat by Butler. DeBuff was beat as well, but there was a stoppage. I believe there's going to be a call here for either. I think that signal was above the neck contact on McCall. Yep, contact above the neck for Jack Levy. That's a yellow card. Isabel McCall was the player who was hit. She's fine. So DeBuff is still beat, but because McCall was the fouled player, she is not beat. Butler is right on the sideline here with dodgeball in hand. Gets it to Ojo. Ojo gets it to Koulis, although it was not where the pass intended to go. Really pulls Koulis out of the play. Koulis is now going to drive in. Toyarkov makes the hit, but he got it off to Ojo, and Ojo finishes through the contact from Audrey Safer to make it 4-2 in favor of RPI. That's going to release Jack Levy from the penalty box as well.
4-2, RPI.
And Toyarkov carrying quad ball up the pitch. Riding's a Butler in front of him. DiTomaso's beat out. DeBuff meeting Toyarkov up high. Toyarkov just gets rid of it to Jack Levy as he gets beat. And he got rid of it too late, I think, here. Yep, head ref is going to give this one to Isabel McCall for pass after beat. Great play there from Sean Patch, who blew up the dodgeball game. Ridings for Michigan is still going to be on broom with dodgeball. Beats out DeBuff, beats out McCall. RPI gets it to Chen, though. He dodges a beat. Tries to just truck through Levy and ends up still with quad ball in hand. Then gets through Moulter. But then his pass to Ojo is intercepted by Toyarkov. Andy Chen there showing some physicality and just trying to run through this Michigan defense. So Levy now again, ball in hand for Michigan. Ridings with the only dodgeball for Michigan. As Butler goes forward and around. Levy takes it right, met by DeBuff, gets it back up top to Torikoff, who's met by McCall. Ridings is going to beat McCall. Torikoff, though, is just content to keep this one slow, even though his team has gotten dodgeball control back. Goes deep to Levy. Ojo is beat out. Oh, and then Levy is able to finish the shot to make this 4-3 in favor of RPI. And Michigan maintains control. DeBuff, who so far has played this whole game, takes it across halfway and gets it to Andy Chen. We've just reached the 13-minute mark. As McCall gets it, she's beat out. That's going to lose Michigan control, though. But Ethan Sturm, head ref, is going to call pass after beat. So it gets the turnover, although this one should lose Michigan control unless Ridings can outrace Patch to the loose dodgeball behind RPI's hoops. Audrey Safer has quad ball for Michigan. She's looking around to see what her options are, and she does just immediately get it to her keeper. I believe that's Matthew Marcus checking in for his first minutes of the game. So Marcus carries that one up. Patch was able to win the race, so dodgeballs are with RPI. McCall gets beat out. Patch gets beat out. Oh, and then just a floater from Levy goes through, and that ties the score in this one. Both teams with 4 goals. Patch and DiTomaso, dodgeballs for RPI. DeBuff is taking it up the right side with DiTomaso in front of him over there. Patch is in front of Andy Chen. Ojo now over to Chen. Chen puts himself in the middle, gets it back to Ojo, swaps places. Ojo coming left, gets it to McCall. McCall back to Ojo. Ojo back to Chen. RPI really passing around up top here. Chen tries to drive right side, gets it to DeBuff. DeBuff hits a shot, and that was good. 5-4 RPI. Great passing there from RPI, and they just really unsettled Michigan's defense. As Levy is now going to sub, I believe, for his first time of the game to bring in another player here for Michigan. And that player is Adalish Tanagai. So ball goes back to Tanagai, far right corner. DeBuff meets him. Patch is trying to blow this one up as Michigan has no dodgeballs. Gets it back to right. Tanagai being met by DeBuff, who just didn't want to make the hit. Butler is now guarding Safer. Gets it back to Tanagai. He's going to drive in, met by DeBuff, who's just trying to go for a block. He gets beat out. DeBuff picks it up. He's got McCall in front of him. He gets beat out. Marcus had beat out as well. That's really unfortunate there for RPI. If DeBuff had just dropped that one straight down, I think RPI might have ended up with a fast break. Instead, quad ball turnover to Tanagai. And Butler's going to beat out McCall as he and Ridings have control here. Tanagai now ball carrying for Michigan, has Marcus near side. He gets it back to Multer. She's met by Chen, gets it back to Tanagai, who's going to be met by DeBuff. Over to Marcus. He can't handle the pass, and that goes out of bounds. A stop for RPI. So DeBuff here now, still not taking a sub this game, is going to take this one over half pitch. Gets it to McCall. Calls for the switch. McCall gets it to Ojo. Working the left side now. Met by Marcus. Hits it over to DeBuff. Right back to Ojo. Zips it over to McCall. McCall right back to Ojo. Right over to DeBuff. Oh, good read there from Michigan, realizing that the best way to interrupt this passing attack from RPI is just to make some beats. And Butler and Ridings are now going to sub out for Michigan. And so Marcus takes it up slowly. The new beating pair for Michigan, Valdez near side, and then far side cannot make the catch. I think that's Danny Silva, although I'm not sure what the number was. RPI gets a stop. DeBuff driving through, hits a shot. That puts RPI's lead back up to 2, and that is 6-4 in favor of RPI. "17 minutes has elapsed, scores 6-4 RPI. It's Elizabeth Williams actually in with Valdez for Michigan at beater. Deering, quad ball, gets back to Torikoff. Then Deering wants to cut. Valdez in front of him. Bad luck for the wind here for Michigan. They don't have a middle hoop. Deering gets through Olmstead, who's now wearing green. And that's going to make it 6-5 in favor of RPI as we approach the 20-minute mark. RPI able to maintain dodgeball control here. Patch and DiTommaso. Olmstead setting up her offense here. Koulis near side. Chen on her right, gets it over to Koulis. Met by Torikoff, gets it right back to Olmstead, who has Patch in front. Olmstead gets it right to Chen. Chen drives far side as he's met by Johnson. He gets it off. Oh, and a huge hit from Torikoff gets the stop for Michigan. And Deering comes up with it, gets it to Torikoff in the green headband. Oh, actually, sorry, that's Spencer Johnson in the green headband. 2 long-haired, very large blonde players from Michigan. My mistake. So Deering now walking quad ball up the pitch, met by Olmstead, gets it back to Torikoff. Valdez beat out by Patch. Deering can't handle the pass, but he does manage to get it back over to Torikoff, who then hits Johnson. Johnson's clear from DiTommaso. Gets it to Torikoff. Torikoff hits the shot, and that's going to tie this one back. Or no, it's not. Sorry, my mistake. 7-6 now, still in favor of RPI, as Michigan's really trying to keep this one within 1 goal. Nope, that does tie it up. Scoreboard had flipped because of the wind. They put it back. It's all tied up at 6. Chen gets it to Olmstead. Olmstead moves forward, gets it to Winthrop. Or Fawthrop, my mistake. Olmstead, no good on the shot, but it goes right to Koulis. Koulis' shot is knocked down, and Michigan gets the stop. Johnson now with quad ball. And Michigan's first chance to take the lead in quite some time in this game. Torikoff now with quad ball. Sue and Brodeur back into this game for Michigan in time for the 20-minute mark. Johnson behind. Olmstead can't get a hand on that pass, back up to Torikoff. Fawthrop beat out by Sue. Olmstead cannot be beat with the green headband on. DiTommaso with a great block, but Torikoff is able to just come through with no dodgeballs, and Michigan takes their first lead in a long time, making this one 7-6. This is the last possession before the 20-minute stoppage. DiTommaso and Patch have dodgeballs in hand. Olmstead with quad ball far side. Koulis the option on her left. Fawthrop setting a pick on Johnson, but Johnson is still able to make the hit on Olmstead. The quad ball goes out of bounds, and that is going to be the 20-minute stoppage with a stop here for Michigan. Nope, false whistle, no call on the play. It was stopped before it went out of bounds. So RPI still does have a chance to tie this one up. Fawthrop driving to the middle, moving forward. Chen trying to set a pick. Fawthrop hits Olmstead. She can't handle the pass, is beat out by Sue. And that is going to be the 20-minute stoppage. The score is 7-6 in favor of Michigan. That will put the set score here at 13. Frank Minson will be the snitch for this one, so we'll test the seekers of both teams. And a catch here could be crucial. I think that beaters out of the play could favor either team. Michigan, I think, has a much better pass, a drive and dish attack. I think they can drive through a number of players, although RPI has landed some hits. However, if RPI is able to land those hits, I think their passing attack around Michigan's stout defenders might be the thing if all the dodgeballs are stuck in the flag runner game.
Did you forget what time we were playing?
There was a cone. At the cone.
I just did the tournament. They also
Yeah, me too.
get out of here and get warm.
All right, so we're about to get underway again.
So it's all good.
Neil Peterson is going to be starting seeker for Michigan. Ad Ojo starting seeker for RPI. Turikoff going to start with quad ball for Michigan here, taking it rather slowly. Brodeur and Sue do not have control, but do just set up by the scorekeeper's table to keep Ojo off the flag runner. Turikoff really taking this one slowly, and all three dodgeballs are going to stay in the quad ball game for a moment here. Johnson back over to Toyarkov, as here Sue does make a beat on Ojo. Quad ball back to Johnson. He's marked up high by Fothrop. Gets it down to Margulis. Back to Johnson. Gets it back to Toyarkov. That's going to be reset used here. It's Peterson getting a ton of time with the flag runner. And Minson, I thought, got him off broom, but I guess not. Toyarkov drives through. Great stop by Kulis. Margulis picks it up. And she is not able to finish through those hands from RPI. Great stop there from RPI. As Minson somehow miraculously gets through the hands of both seekers. Fothrop now quad ball far side, met by Safer. He gets around, gets through a Johnson hit, gets it to Kulis. Kulis immediately met by Toyarkov. Toyarkov just drops the quad ball, and Michigan is able to recover and get the stop here. Score remains 7-6. Set score 13. Sue, huge beat on Ojo. Peterson some more time on Mintz in the flag runner. Oh, it gets the grab. We'll see if that one was called good. Certainly no dodgeballs in the area. And no discussion needed. That is a good catch. That will make the score 10-6 in favor of Michigan with a set score of 13. That could all but seal it for Michigan here. Toyarkov keeping it slow to let Brodeur get in front of him. She has Michigan's only dodgeball as Sue is in front of her. DeBuff is going to meet Toyarkov at the keeper's own line. Toyarkov goes left, tries to go back right, hits Margulis, who can't handle the pass. Kulis picks it up. But Michigan, one control, no. Abatia gets the beat on Sue. Now they have none back. DeBuff trying to beat the whole Michigan defense. Great spin and finishes through Toyarkov. 10-7 RPI. Michigan bringing it up Deering, met by DeBuff. He gets it back into the corner. Julian Torikoff. DeBuff is going to meet him as Abatia trades with Sue. They're both beat out. Torikoff can't hit the shot. It is not a reset used. Johnson saved that one. Some good footwork. Back to Johnson. Back over to Torikoff. Sue in front. Sue's trying to blow this thing up, but Torikoff was beat before. No good. Deering picked it up. And no, Deering was beat in the foot. So this is going to be a turnover to RPI. There's no dodgeballs back for Michigan, although Brodeur and Sue both have one in hand. DeBuff does realize that and has to take it slow. Sue then just wants to blow it up, gets it to McCall. She's beat out. Ojo's beat out. Johnson picks it up. And Michigan sideline tell him to go slow. Torikoff with Brodeur in front. DeBuff keeping an eye on Torikoff. Johnson was beat out. Great defense there from RPI as Ojo sprinted in. It made Johnson hesitate, and that's what allowed the time for the beat to get in there. (10-7) remains the score. Set score 13. DeBuff directing traffic here. Right back to DeBuff. Over to nope. DeBuff with a little fake dojo there. He gets it to him. Back to DeBuff, met by Johnson. Back to Ojo as they swap places on the field. Patch in front. Abati on the right. Back over to DeBuff. Going to be met by Torikoff, who gets beat out. Back to Ojo. Great wrap here from Michigan. And the shot is no good. That's going to be a good stop there from Michigan. As Amanda Margulis with that hit, I think really shut that down for RPI. Brodeur beats out Lardizabal. Deering, far side, passes it around to Buff, who's going to try to meet Torikoff. Torikoff, though, too fast, gets it to Johnson. Johnson's beaten in the head by Sean Patch. Deering, shots too high, no good. That was a legal head beat because the distance was far enough away. Sean Patch beat out by Brodeur. Brodeur with a hustle play. RPI calls a timeout there. Great hustle play from Brodeur. I think is going to keep control for Michigan. The score here remaining 10-7, set score 13. All right, so we're going to get back started here in this one. DeBuff with quad ball way off to the right behind RPI's hoops. Brodeur is just able to win that race. Abatia decides not to throw her dodgeball, and Michigan has control here. Ojo with quad ball. Gets it to Lardizabal. Back to Ojo, met by Margulis. Ojo doesn't want the contact. Margulis beat out. Gets it back to DeBuff. DeBuff is going to be beat by Torikov. Right back up to Ojo. Johnson meets him. Ojo runs middle, back to DeBuff. DeBuff gets beat out. He got the pass off first, though, to Ojo. Met by Margulis again. Makes her miss. And Ojo, the great finish around Torikov. 10-8. Still in favor of Michigan, although they have not scored since the 20-minute mark. Deering bringing this one up across halfway. Patch gets beat out. Gets it back to Toyarkov. Going to be met again by DeBuff, who's running right back to Deering and right back to Toyarkov. Deering passes out as Abatia shows to press. Just beats out Toyarkov, ignores Deering. Deering, though, can't get around DeBuff. Goes for the shot, and it went through Kulis and Ojo's outstretched arms. And that's going to be Michigan's first goal since the 20-minute mark. They only need 2 more to win this one. And we have an injury stoppage here. With that good goal, as Abatia walks off the pitch to be replaced by Danny DiTommaso, who is going to the far sideline where a dodgeball is going to be awarded to her. All right, so score here, 11-8 in favor of Michigan, set score 13. DeBuff letting his offense knows what he wants. Back to Lardizabal, who's going to take it over halfway. She tosses it to DeBuff, who wants to go middle, met by Johnson. Steps back, gets it to Kulis, met by Margulis. Over to DeBuff. Ojo behind, gets beat out by Ridings, and Margulis falls on that one. Good stop here for Michigan, who need 2 more to win it. Deering bringing it up.
Let's go! Fireball left!
Met by DeBuff once again. Riding's only dodgeball for Michigan. He gets it back to Torikov, right corner yet again. Met by DeBuff. He just goes right past him. Misses. I thought he missed the shot. Goal ref said no good. AR said no good. That shot is no good. Ball is live. Johnson gets to it before Kulis can. That is a reset used, though. Patch beats his teammate right in the back, who's also going to lose control. Terrible luck there for Sean Patch. Toyarkov near side, and now Patch, trying to make up for his mistake, is going to get a yellow card for contact from behind on Ray Brodeur. Tough stretch of play there from Sean Patch, who's otherwise had quite a good game. And with Michigan only needing 2 more and out on a beater power play, this could be spelling the end of this game. Head referee is reminding everyone that Michigan's reset has already been used on this possession. Danny DiTommaso is also beat out. No beaters in the play here for RPI. Toyarkov gets around DeBuff, gets around Ojo, gets around Kulis, and puts that one home, putting Michigan within 1 goal of ending this one as their lead is extended to 12-8. DeBuff hands it to Olmstead. Olmstead carrying it up far side. Gets it deep to DeBuff, who's makes someone miss from Michigan. Gets it to Ojo, who makes Toyarkov miss and hits a shot. 12-9. And RPI still showing signs of life here. Toyarkov going to take this one up for Michigan. They do have control in the hands of Ridings and Brodeur, and a goal will end it. DiTommaso beat out by Brodeur. Brodeur then immediately beats out Olmstead. Toyarkov going to take that space, hits a shot middle going straight through DeBuff. And that ends this one in favor of Michigan. Final score, 135 Michigan, 90 RPI.